How's everybody doing today? This is kind of a welcome back video because I haven't made a video in well over a month, I believe. And there's a great many reasons for that, but I've always intended to come back soon. And I had to get a new phone and a bunch of other things. But anyways, you can see my oldest boys in the video today. I was going to wait till he was out of the truck to do the video. I said, but well, why not put him in there? What does it matter? Benji, say hi. Say hi. So anyways, after the long break, a lot of things happened, and I definitely know that it was very much on purpose through the universe to teach me a few things that I had to like catch up on, or maybe some of the stuff that was also, new as well. Sorry, I didn't know which side the camera was on. I'm trying to look at the camera lens, so I'm looking at you instead of the bottom of the phone. But anyways, yeah, there was things that I needed to learn, some past traumatic stress that I had to get through, stuff that I realized I created for myself as a hardship. Had to learn and adjust for that, and meditate and find out what that was, and to help change it and help change my attitude, and it's stuff like that. And I was going through I'm still at the end of it. My son's coughing, but it came from me. I was sick for like a month straight, and this is probably the last day I'm sick because I can feel I'm getting better. Which is another reason why I'm starting the video today and not like a couple days ago. But it was a month straight, so I went to the hospital, and they told me it was viral because I thought I had a pneumonia, so it hadn't gone to bacterial yet. And she's like, you've had a viral cold for a month straight? I said, yeah. But what the interesting, they thought that was weird because they thought for sure if I've had it for a month that it would have gone bacterial. That's what usually happens, I believe. But before I got sick, I was doing a lot of healing work where, there's no disease by divine right and perfect ways. The universe, there's no disease or sickness that's created in the mind and all this stuff. And I was doing healing work, and all of a sudden I get hit with this massive cold that just kept going, and I kept meditating, and it just never went away. Like, the fever would go down, then come up the next day, go down in the morning, then come back up. And it was just like never ending. It was relentless. And I'm like, wow, if I'm doing all this healing work, why is this lasting a month? But I definitely know that it was a big hurdle that I had to get over because my body was testing me. That's why it lasted so long. And when I came to this realization, I'm like, wow, even though I know getting colds and stuff are, common in most people's consciousness reality. And I've gotten sick before, of course, but you do this healing work and you believe that there's no sickness, because sickness and disease are caused by fear and anxiety and hate in your bloodstream, and that's created by you. Some of it's from your childhood trauma, and it wasn't your fault per se. But when you get older, you got to realize you got to start doing the spiritual work to overcome it. And I was watching a couple other metaphysical guys from 30, 40 years ago. They were talking about this, that in order for you to overcome the monster, basically, this is my own words, I'm just summarizing what they said. To overcome that monster, you have to do the spiritual work. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in that reality forever. And it is your job, and I've said this before, it's your job to practice metaphysics or / spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, you're gonna suffer even more in the end. Now, people that don't practice it, and you say, oh wow, they're so lucky and they're doing great and all this and stuff, it's yeah, but there will be things that lessons they'll have to learn later on, and you might see that like later down the road, like they'll start suffering or whatever in their older age or whatever. Everyone's journey is definitely specific to themselves, and there's a lot of different examples or whatever. But I won't go too far into that. But what I really wanted to talk about today was, so going back into your consciousness and subconscious mind and the difference. I'm not going to talk about the superconscious mind as much, because I want you to like get the direct idea of what is occurring in your consciousness and then the unconsciousness. And what I stated before, your subconscious mind is the storage, the hard drive of all the information you've learned in your entire life. Your consciousness is the kind of the controller. Your current mind state and what you're thinking is storing information in that subconscious mind. So you're constantly putting input into the subconscious mind. Everything that you're bringing into your life, you're observing, you're listening to, you're saying, all the stuff is stored there, and it's collecting for later. Now, later, tomorrow, 10 years from now, it's all being stored in there. So the more crap or negativity that you put in there, that sphere of subconscious is starting to fill up its volume with bad things. And your subconscious doesn't know the difference. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm just taking a sip of coffee real quick. I'll collect myself for a second. Apologize. I don't edit my videos, so this is going into the video. I will later down the road, but not now. Anyways, all that negativity that's being stored in there, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between good and bad. Positive and negative energy, or those ideas, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. It just feeds you whatever it is you've been putting into it. So all that stuff will come back into your current life. So you want to fill that globe of subconscious information full of creative ideas and things that are good for you in your life. The love, the positivity, the manifestation stuff, the belief of everything you're believing in spirituality. You want to fill it with that instead of what you've been programmed to ever since you were a child to fill it with. Everything I've talked about this before, everything since you were a child, you've been programmed exactly wrong. Everything is like 180 degrees backwards. They say money doesn't grow on trees. Well, yeah, it does, because it's energy. It populates just like the tree does. The tree is energy. Money is energy. It's a type of vibration. You bring that into your life by polarity. Your positive energy thoughts towards money will attract the money to you, because you got to vibrate at the money's frequency. Love is a frequency. To attract that, you must exert that frequency of love to attract that frequency of love, to bring it into your life. And it's all stored in the subconscious mind. So you have to be very mindful of what you're putting in there, whether that's movies. Like if you're watching horror movies, you're putting that information in the subconscious mind. Since we're living in a video game kind of like simulation, do you not think that the horror movie information can manifest something terrible that happens in those movies into our reality? Sure it can. It might not be like, a 25-foot monster per se that lands up, killing somebody or yourself or a family, but it could be a manifestation of a human or an animal that does it and kills you, lands up killing somebody. I didn't really want to go too dark or morbid, but it's true. But if you're watching like serendipity movies and movies about love all the time, you're probably going to attract that into your life. But if you're just watching horror movies all the time, you're probably going to attract some sort of negative energy, because that's what's being stored in there. We're all guilty of it. I have a obsession with action movies. I have since I was a kid, and I've noticed that I've actually put myself into situations where it's combative a lot of the times, and a lot of times unnecessarily and completely, you know, I just like walked into the situation and I had to deal with it. So that may be a coincidence and maybe not, but it happens enough to where I'm like, did I create that? Probably did, because if you wanted to be a hero, you'll end up in a excuse me heroic situation. Sorry, I keep coughing. I'm trying to maintain the rest of this video. Yeah. So we're going on 10 minutes here. I just wanted to give you clarification that you're the conscious mind is the master controller, and you're feeding that storage, that hard drive of information into your subconscious mind. So that's what your computer's operating on. You're operating on whatever you're feeding it, right? We kind of know how computers operate. It's very similar between the controller and the hard drive. So if you're constantly saying, you know, I live in a beautiful house, I own a beautiful home, eventually you're going to feel that subconscious enough to where the subconscious mind's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, he lives in a beautiful home because that's what you've been telling me. Because the subconscious mind directs the reality of what goes on around you. It's like showing you the picture, like everything you're seeing is the simulation. The subconscious mind is reflecting that to you. So you're controlling what you want in the hard drive. That subconscious mind is creating the simulation based on what you're giving it, if that makes any sense. It's directly correlated. Sometimes it's not just like instantaneous, but a lot of times it is instantaneous, because now it's got to move and direct the simulation, so to speak, to have that come into fruition at some time and enough to where you can believe it. Remember, I told you in this 3D reality, if I wanted a basketball in my hand, it's just not going to like magically pop in my hand, like ding, all of a sudden it's there in my hand. I've said that before in my previous videos. It gives it time so you can believe it, because if I told you, if reality was bent enough around you and everyone else, like people would go crazy, because part of the simulation is what they're observing too, and seeing magical things happen in front of their face like confuses them. So you can't just have like you know, David Copperfield basketball in your hand all of a sudden, right? It takes a minute or two for it to like roll to you, or a kid throws it at your door on accident because he's playing outside. You know, you get what I'm saying. It has to be in 3D, but I don't want to go too much into that. We're going on over 10 minutes, and we keep coughing, so hopefully I'll have a better video tomorrow where I'm not coughing and my son's not coughing in the video. And as always, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming back. Welcome back, and have a nice day.